Be still for a few moments and notice what, in a sense, the stillness gives us contrast. So when we still the body, we can notice what is moving, and very often what's moving is the mind and the heart, the emotions. So that's why many people don't like being physically still, actually, because it highlights what we might be worried about. It highlights what might be heavy on our heart. And so we often try and stay busy so we're not actually feeling those things. We're not aware of those things. So what yoga teaches is we can't really run away from those things ultimately. We can for a little while, but they will catch up with us. So just giving ourselves time to actually feel and be aware of what we're feeling, what we're experiencing, what we're thinking is ultimately the best policy. The best way to do this, again, is actually seated meditation. But, for whatever reason, some people just don't do that. So this can be a little taste of that. All right, now we begin breathing, creating our breathing techniques. So inhale belly, ribs, and chest, and exhale chest, ribs, and belly. Then we'll add the ujjayi, which is that ocean sound at the back of the throat. And then let's begin warming up the right leg. So we bring that right leg in, cradling it, and then just moving it around a little bit. Today my hip feels pretty good, which means I just don't really feel much. There's not a lot of pain, not a lot of stiffness, not a lot of soreness. So that's not a bad sign. That could be a sign I'm not actually active enough. So I have been cutting back a little bit because I've been overdoing it. So I've been trying to find that balance. All right, from there we take the leg out to the right, and it can be knee bent, but I don't really feel a stretch with my knee bent. So I'll take the leg straight and drop it out to the side. Now you see I'm grabbing my big toe. You could grab the foot. You could also use a strap. Okay, so we're just finding a little bit of stretch in the inside of that thigh. Good. And then we'll do the figure 4, stretch the outside of the hip. Okay, so bend the left knee, cross the ankle over with the foot flexed, and then pull the left leg in. You should feel it in your right glute. So you're just going to breathe into that area. Good, let's release, and we'll cradle the left leg now. So again, happy to report not much sensation in this left leg, a little more though. So if I abduct that femur, I can feel a little bit of, I don't know, tenderness, stiffness in the inside of the thigh there. All right, and the first stretch will be again for the adductors. So I drop that leg out to the left side. And again, for me, I need to straighten the leg to get this stretch. And definitely more tension on this side. I can feel it here. Okay, then we place the foot on the ground. We cross the other ankle over. Figure 4. So now this is essentially the yin-yang muscle groups work in yin-yang pairs. So more or less, it's not an exact science, but very close. So one muscle group will create one action. Another muscle group will create the opposite action. So we're targeting the outside of that left hip. Welcome, Katie. Good to see you. And we're just breathing, letting that muscle group relax and let go. All right, good. Let's release that side and we will rock and roll up to seated and start warming up the spine with a few rounds of cat-cow. So moving back and forth. Back and neck feel pretty good today. They've been bothering me recently, but more recently they've been feeling better and better. So I'm grateful for that. So remember, these warm-ups are not only a warm-up, but also a chance to check in. That's why I'm sort of reporting on what I'm feeling. These are the types of things I want you to notice when you're doing your warm-ups. And then we'll tuck those toes and come into our down dog. I almost always have tension in my calves, so I definitely feel that. Today is no exception. Okay, so we are now in our downward facing dog. Take a few breaths there. Okay, and so again, this is an opportunity for static strength in our down dog here. And from here, let's walk our feet to our hands. We come into ragdoll. You can grab the opposite elbow. You might nod or shake your head, sway your hips, bend your knees. Good chance to check in on the back side of your body. How's it feeling? And then with the arms relaxed, we'll inhale and just roll up to stand. Okay, so let's do a standing. We'll do a few rounds of sun salutation, starting with a standing back bend. So feet touching or hip distance. Inhale, arms up, touch palms, lift the heart. And remember, you're trying to go up and over an imaginary beach ball. And you're trying to create an even stretch from your pubic bone through your chin. Let's inhale back through center, and we exhale to the forward fold. Bend the knees if you need to. Let the neck relax and place your palms flat. On the inhale, let's come to fingertips or hands to shins, lengthen out the spine. And then planting hands, right foot and then left to the top of your push-up for a plank pose. All right, first plank, I always like to drop the knees. So let's drop those knees. We'll exhale, come down halfway. Make sure your shoulders don't drop below your elbows, so you can come down about this far. And then exhale onto your belly. With the inhale, let's lift our hands, head, neck, and chest, okay? And this is our first option for a little bit of dynamic strength, okay? So you can hold, that will be more meditative. It will build what we call static strength. Or you can exhale, come down, and then inhale back up. And that will help build what we call dynamic strength. Now, I don't want you to move too fast. You're going to move with the breath. And each time you're exploring, maybe you go a little bit further. Good. And then the last one, we'll hold and squeeze. So we inhale, coming up, and we just hold for 1, 2, and 3. Come on down. Inhale, tabletop, and then exhale to your downward facing dog. Okay, from our down dog, let's inhale to the toes, exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. We inhale to the standing back bend, and then grabbing the right wrist. We exhale, pull ourselves over to the left, send our hips to the right. We're looking up and to the right to roll the shoulder back. And again, we're trying to create an even stretch. So feel the stretch and even it out. Let's inhale back to center, switch wrists, and we'll exhale to the other side. Good. We inhale back to center, and we exhale to the forward fold Uttanasana. Let's inhale to half lift, and exhale, step the left, and then right to the top of a push-up. Okay, so plank pose. Let's take a deep breath here. Exhale halfway down, hold for a breath. And exhale to your belly. This time, inhale, pressing into the hands, lift up into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Now again, if you'd like, you can exhale, lower down. And then inhale, come back up. Otherwise, you're holding still. So both of them have benefits. And you can alternate classes. You can choose how you're feeling on one particular day, which approach you'd like to do. Maybe some postures you approach statically and some more dynamically. All right, inhale, we come up and hold for 1. 2. 3. Exhale, come down, tuck the toes, and on the inhale, I want you to try and lift your knees, hips, and chest at the same time. So try and avoid peeling off the ground and just try and lift everything at once. So inhale, top the push-up, exhale back to down dog. Okay, in down dog, you can hold your down dog, which is going to be, again, static strength. So you're holding there, you're breathing there. If you're out of breath, I recommend doing that. If you'd like to add some dynamic strength, movement to it, then we do what are called Hindu push-ups, which is inhale, we sweep through, and then exhale, we press back to the down dog. Okay, so inhale, sweep through, and then exhale, back to down dog, okay? Now, there shouldn't be any pain as you do that. So if there is, you might need to adjust your technique. We can talk about that. And again, it's optional. So if you don't feel like it's appropriate for you today, feel free to just hold your down dog for a few breaths. Okay, so we return to our down dog. And from down dog, we inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. Inhale up to standing back bend. Exhale, we stretch the right side. Inhale to center. Exhale, stretch the left side. Good. Inhale to center. And exhale, sit into an imaginary seat. Okay. So chair pose, hips are back and down. We should feel the legs fatiguing. Now again, this is static strength. You can hold here, or you can do what are called Hindu squats. So on the exhale, we come down, just touch the earth very lightly. Inhale, back up, exhale, and inhale. So exhale down, inhale up. Now you can do quite a lot of these, but we don't have time to do a ton of them. So let's do one more. and then we'll hold our chair for 3, okay? So 1, 2, and 3. Let's inhale up, standing back bend, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale right to the bottom of your push-up if you can. Inhale for an up dog, and exhale, do push-up on your way back to the downward facing dog. All right, so it should be nice and warmed up at this point. Let's go ahead and bring feet to touch. We'll inhale, right leg up and back, and we exhale that knee to the ground, okay? So our knee comes down, and we stack left hip and shoulder above the right shoulder and hip. So we're coming into a modified side plank, okay? So I want this shoulder engaged. I want this side long. I want the chest, shoulders stacked, okay, chest open. Now again, I can stay here. I can add a little dynamic movement. Inhale, lift the left leg, exhale it back down, okay? So pretty simple. Just a little bit of oblique strengthening here. Good, and then again, we'll lift and hold. Good, exhale, come on down. Inhale that right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge, and let's inhale to a warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. Okay, so in warrior 2, we want the front foot and knee pointing straight ahead, the knee lunging over the heel. The arms are parallel with the ground. Okay, we're reaching fingertips out, forward, and backward. We want those shoulders directly above the hips, okay, the knee directly above the heel, and our gaze out over our front fingertips. And we feel nice and powerful and strong here, okay? All right, from here, we'll add a little bit of flow. So I like to start very simple. Inhale up to this position, stupa, which is more or less neutral. It feels like a break, actually, after the warrior. So exhale here, warrior at the back of the mat, okay? So we inhale up, and then exhale to the front. Let's do that a couple more times. And one more. And this time, we exhale and come into the goddess pose. This should be familiar to everybody here today. Okay, so great strength and a little bit of stretch in the groin there. So knees and feet pointing in the same direction, thighs parallel with the ground. Breath is deep, rhythmic, and slow. Good. Let's inhale, we'll come on up, deep breath, and exhale, we cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up. Make your way back to the down dog. All right, from our down dog, let's bring feet to touch. We inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale that knee to the ground. And then we inhale to our modified side plank. So again, left shoulder engaged, left waist long, shoulders stacked, chest and belly open, gaze up. Now let's add that dynamic movement. So we inhale, lift that right leg up as high as we can, exhale, back down. Now again, if this just doesn't feel right for you for whatever reason, you can just, again, hold static, hold still, okay? You could even lift the leg and hold it if you want. That'll develop a little more static strength. But even the baseline version will create some strength in the shoulder at least Okay, let's lift and hold. Good. Exhale that hand down. Inhale that left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, lunge, and then inhale to our warrior two here. Okay. So again, let's make sure we have our alignment right, knee over the heel, arms parallel, shoulders over the hips, gaze forward, breath is deep, rhythmic, and slow. Good. We inhale up, and we exhale to the back of the mat. We're going to do that a few more times, just inhaling up and exhaling to our warrior. One more. And then this time, inhale up and exhale into our goddess pose. Okay. So again, knees and heels pointing in the right direction. The arms mirror what we're doing with the legs. And you want to feel a little edge, little intensity here. So don't make it too easy on yourself, not too comfortable. There really, in yoga, is a balancing act that you're doing. So you're not trying to overwhelm yourself, but you're also not trying to go too easy on yourself. And it's just a constant monitoring, right? Is this too easy? Is it too much, right? And it can change. It will change from day to day. Okay. All right. Let's inhale back up and we'll exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up, making our way back to the downward facing dog. Okay, from here, let's inhale to the toes. We're going to exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. Let's inhale up to standing back bend. And as we exhale, we bring the right elbow under the left. We bend our knees. Now, if you can't do this with the hands, just grab the opposite shoulder. And then we inhale the right knee over the left. You can place that foot on the ground. You can have it in the air. You can also wrap it. So try and square those hips to the front. Drop them down. Shoulders back. And then knees and elbows moving toward one another. So please don't fold in half. Okay? Please do not do that. Instead, drop down, straight down. Okay, good. Let's inhale, unwind everything. That's the eagle. And then exhale, bend those knees, left under right. Inhale, left over right. Okay, inhale, deep breath in. And exhale, forward fold, deep breath out. So inhale to the half lift, and we exhale to the bottom, the push-up, making your way back to the downward dog. Okay, so from our downward dog, let's bring our feet to touch. We'll inhale the right leg up and back. And then this time we exhale that foot about halfway. Roll onto the outside edge of our left foot, and we lift the arm up into again, another modified side plank. Now this one, we're placing more weight. We need to make sure that shoulder's engaged, okay? So again, pressing the ground away. And then again, I can hold here, developing static strength, or to create some dynamic strength, I exhale, lower the hips and the hand, and then I'll inhale and reach up and arch, and then exhale down. Good. Now again, if there's any pain when you start moving, then I recommend just stop immediately and figure out what's going on. Good. And then let's exhale that hand down. Inhale that leg up and back. exhale, lunge, and inhale to a warrior two. And we'll add the goddess to our flow. So we inhale up to stupa. Exhale to that goddess. Good. Inhale back up. Exhale, warrior two at the back. Good. Inhale. And exhale, goddess. Inhale back up. And exhale, warrior two. Now, this time, inhale, straighten the front knee. Pivot your hands. Exhale, reach, 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 reach. And then pivot your arms for extended triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. So common things I see in this posture are people bending the front knee, collapsing the right waist, bringing the left shoulder forward, leaning forward in order to come down further. So let's just keep the proper alignment. We're stacked over this leg. So you should be able to look down and see the leg right below you, okay? If you look down and you see the ground in front of you and you see your leg behind you, then you're not in proper alignment, okay? Okay, let's inhale back up, warrior two, and exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up. Gonna make your way back to down dog. Okay, from our down dog, let's again bring feet to touch. We inhale left leg up and back, exhale that foot halfway. We inhale to the modified side plank. All right, again, I can hold there or exhale, lower the hips and hand, and inhale, lifting and arching. And again, we want to make sure this is a pain-free experience. If not, we need to figure out what's going on. It could be improper alignment. It could be an injury, but you can maybe manage the injury and find a way to do this. Okay, it could be other things as well. All right, let's exhale that hand down. We inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge, and we inhale to our warrior two. All right, from our warrior two, we're going to add some flow. So we inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, and exhale, warrior two. We're going to repeat that. Inhale up, exhale, goddess. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. Good. Inhale, straighten the front knee. And exhale to triangle Trikonasana, okay? All right, let's inhale back to our warrior two, and we exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up, making your way back to the down dog. Okay, from our down dog, let's inhale to the toes. We exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend. And then this time, let's exhale, arms out like wings. We bend the knees, and we'll inhale the right ankle over the left thigh. Notice my foot is flexed, and then I drop my hips down until I feel a stretch in my right glute, okay? Good, let's inhale, we come all the way back up. And exhale, drop those hips. Inhale, left ankle over right. Drop the hips down, drop the chest down, find the stretch and breathe. Good. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, bottom of the push-up. Making your way back to down dog. Okay, so let's bring our feet to touch. And we roll to the left side into a full side plank. Okay, and again, I can hold this building static strength, or I can exhale, drop the hips in the hand, and then inhale, arch. And we repeat that a few times. Good. From there, let's lunge. And we inhale up into our warrior two. Take a breath. And then inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the knee. And exhale, triangle. Good. Let's inhale back up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale back up and exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the knee. And exhale, triangle. Bend the front knee, look down temporarily, and then kick off the back leg for the balancing half moon. So we're stacking shoulders and hips. Gaze is up, if possible. All right, so this is the balancing half moon. Very similar to triangle, but now we're balancing on one leg. Good. Exhale, bottom push-up. So that uses a lot of the same muscles that we're targeting in today's class. So those oblique muscles and the abductors. Okay. So again, there's kind of a method to the madness. It might seem like just a lot of random postures, but I've selected these for a reason. Okay, let's do the other side. So feet touch. We roll onto the right side this time. And again, I can hold or I can move. Good. Exhale, lunge, and then inhale to your warrior two. Take a breath. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale. Exhale, warrior. Inhale. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, goddess. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale and exhale, triangle. From there, bend that knee, look forward, and try and gracefully transition to your balancing half moon. Good. Take a deep breath and exhale to the bottom of your push-up. You're going to make your way back to the downward facing dog. All right. So from here, let's go ahead and come on down. and we're working on Galavasana today, which is sometimes called flying pigeon pose. And it's actually named after a yogic saint or sage. So, but it looks a little bit like pigeon. So in English, it's often called flying pigeon. All right, so first, as most of you know, foundation is crow pose. And crow pose, we want what are called chaturanga arms. We lift the hips, we bring the shins to the back of the arms, look up, and we lift one leg at a time until we feel strong enough to lift both feet at the same time. Okay, and that's Bakasana, crow pose. So we break that down in a lot of classes. I don't want to spend a lot of time breaking it down today, okay? But if you've not yet mastered that, work on that. And you can, again, watch many of these classes. I break it down a lot of detail. You can reach out to me for a private session if you're still having difficulty with it. I've helped a lot of people who felt like they could never do arm balances, do the crow pose. So again, if you're struggling, just reach out, okay? All right, hopefully you've got that down, or at least you feel confident practicing it. So with the flying pigeon, we're going to take what we were doing with the hip and we're going to add that into the crow. Okay, so for this, we'll stand up and then we repeat what we did earlier. So we come down here and then again, inhaling that right ankle over the left thigh. Okay, so there's flexibility because I need those rotators to be flexible. And then what I'll do is I'll come down with my hands. Okay, and then I bring the shin to the back of my arms and I actually wrap my foot around the upper part of my arm. So I want my leg to stay there. And then I look up and I try lifting that back leg up. Okay, so it's called flying pigeon, Galavasana. And it's asymmetrical, so you want to do it on both sides. And it's, I'm not going to pretend it's a very challenging arm balance, okay? So again, if that's not for you today, that's perfectly fine. You can work on crow, and you can also work on the steps. So you can work on that flying pigeon, you know, opening up that hip a little bit more, working on your balance, you know, things like that, okay? So give that the old college try. And then we're going to do a little bit of a different closing sequence today. So let's go ahead and start on our back. And we'll just rest for a moment on the back, okay? All right, so let's do a back bend here. I'll give you first the option for the bridge. So bending the knees and placing them hip distance very close to your hips. Just rest your hands alongside the hips. Then lift the hips up, interlace fingers, join palms, and then you can shrug one shoulder under and then the other, and that is called the bridge, okay? Very simple, great for strengthening glutes and working the back, strengthening the thighs. All right, so you can stay there. If you'd like to, you can come into the wheel if you feel warmed up enough for that, which is a deeper back bend. Good, so take a few breaths and then come on down and just let your knees drop in against one another. That's called constructive rest. Good, from there, we'll just let those knees drop side to side a few times. Good, and then let's go ahead and hug the legs. That's called Pavanamuktasana, Apanasana. Okay, we'll drop the arms out like the letter T, and we'll take both knees down to the left. So we look to the right. That is called Jathara Parivartanasana. All right, and then we inhale knees to center and we exhale them off to the other side. Good, let's inhale back to center. Slide our hands under the hips, extend the legs up, and exhale, lower the legs. Inhale, pop them up, and exhale up to seated. Okay, let's do a wide leg forward fold today. So take the legs as wide as they'll go. Now make sure that your pelvis is tilting forward. If it's not, then I want you to bend your knees until it does. If you're not sure what that means, again, reach out to me, all right? But hopefully you understand what it means. And if you're not sure how to check, again, reach out. Okay, so feet are flexed. We inhale arms up. We exhale forward and down, and we can grab the feet or big toes as we coax ourselves into this wide leg forward fold. Good. Inhale, arms to the ears, and exhale, let the arms relax. And we'll do the Gomukhasana next. So this is like the shoelace in yin. I'm not mirroring you, just FYI. So right knee on top, and then we bring each foot towards the opposite hip, okay? And then we can sit nice and tall. Now there are a set of arms that go with this. We reach up with the right hand and reach back with the left hand. And if possible, we clasp behind the back. You could also grab a strap or a towel, but if you cannot reach, don't worry about it. You can just reach up and grab the elbow here. And then exhale, fold over. You could also just have your hands on the ground, yin style. Good. Inhale, let's come on up. And exhale, let it go. Let's switch sides. So left knee over the right. Again, I'm not mirroring right now. So do what I say, not what you necessarily see. I'm not actually sure how it shows on your end, to be honest. Okay, again, I can reach up and clasp. Sometimes you can do it on one side and not the other. Again, you can use the arms. You can just have your hands out in front of you. Beautiful. Inhale, arms to the ears, we come on up, and exhale as we relax those arms. And then we'll take our legs out in front of us. Let's inhale, arms out in front. And then exhale as we roll back onto the back. And then I thought it'd be nice to do a side stretch since we worked those sides. So we'll do a banana, which we borrow from Yin Yoga. So moving the hips to the right edge of the mat, let's move our legs and arms, head, neck, shoulders, pretty much as far to the left as they will go until we feel a stretch in the right waist and ribs. And then we're going to breathe into that space. Okay, we inhale back to center, and we'll take things off to the other side. Okay, so hips at the left edge of the mat, and then legs, arms, head, neck, shoulders to the right, but keep your left hip near the ground, okay? Good. Let's inhale. Come on back to neutral. And then let's do our inversion work. So the simplest, safest inversion is called Saral Viparita Karani. So hands under the hips, palms down, and then just the legs go straight up. Now you can put a block under your hips. You could rest them on a blanket. You could rest your legs on a wall. And there should be no pain in your back. So if there is, you're going to bend your knees as much as you need to, okay, till you're pain-free. From here, if you want to go a little further, swing the feet toward the ground behind you. If you can, interlace fingers behind your back, join your palms, and that is Plow Halasana. If you'd like to go a step further, hold your back or your hips, take your legs straight up, and then that is the shoulder stand. And then whatever you're in, let's bend those knees and just gradually come back down. And we'll take the legs straight out, bring them together and flex those feet. Take the hands with the palms up and just slide your fingers under your thighs. And for whatever reason, people get confused when I teach this in person. I see them, usually people who are new to yoga. You want to press into your elbows and just lift your upper body off the ground completely. And then you just let the crown of the head rest very gently on the ground. Good. Inhale, lifting up, and you exhale, release. Let's bring the legs in. We'll grab the soles of the feet. That's the happy baby. And we can stretch those legs one at a time or both together. And then when you're ready, you unwind onto your back. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Heels apart, palms up, head centered, chin tucked in slightly, eyes closed, and that is Shavasana.